All right, let's get started. 2-2, linear functions. Essential question, what are the different forms that a linear equation can be written in? One possible one is point slope. We're going back to Algebra 1, so 2 years ago. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I'll hang on. We're not in that big of a hurry. Like I said, this lesson's so much easier than Mondays.
So is it like number one?
Yeah, we have 3 different ones. This is the first one. I actually jacked that up in my lesson last period, and I learned my lesson. So hopefully I don't do that now. So that is our first way to write a linear function. So let's do example 1 now. And hopefully I don't mess up my numbering. Write in point slope form a line that passes through 3, -5 and has a slope of 11. First thing I personally would do once you get the problem written is write the formula. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. And then what I would do is go up to my points and label them. That is x1, that is y1, and the 11 is my slope, also known as m. And all we're going to do now is substitute in y minus y1. What's y1? -5. Equals my slope. My slope is 11. X minus x1, which is 3. There's tissues up front. All right. Is that my final answer?
No.
No, why not?
Because you have to distribute.
Distribute what?
The numbers to the...
No. What is my point slope formula? That's my point slope formula, correct? So I need the 11 by itself, and I need an x minus x1. My point of contention was this. Is it good to have 2 negatives? No. So how should I rewrite that? Y plus 5. Y plus 5 equals 11x minus 3. I get you guys are excited to put it in slope-intercept form, but we weren't there yet. So number 1 was point slope. What's number 2? I just told you. Slope-intercept. Thank you. Slope-intercept. And slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. And what is the m?
Slope.
Hi there. Thank you. All right, so the m is the slope, and what does slope tell us about a graph? It's what? You are both correct. Rise over run. What does b tell us? the y-intercept. What does the x and the y tell us? Any point on the graph. You can use any point on the graph and that'll work. All right, so number 1 was point slope. Number 2 is slope intercept. Does anyone know what number 3 is? The other one, yes, the other one. Good job, Gabby. Standard form. And standard form is written in the form of AX plus BY equals C. And yes, the A, B, and C are capitalized. The X and the Y are not. Here's some knowledge about this. X must be positive and a whole number. All right, we have 2 examples left, then we're done. And we can celebrate Jana's birthday. Distance formula? I don't know. Or standard form of a circle. Yes. Yep. I think you're just making stuff up now.
Yeah. No, wait, I have my notebooks from last year. I don't think there's ever been a formula where it has B and E. No, okay. I can text my friends. I'm sorry.
I can text Mr. Treewan if you want. You can ask him. Mr. Murphy. All right, we good? Can I go on? Whoever needed it? All right. 2 examples left, then we're done for today. So this is example 2. Y equals 2/5 x plus 14. So obviously that is in slope-intercept form, and it wants us to write in standard form. So remember, standard form means our x and y need to be on one side of the equal sign, and it needs to be positive. So how do I move this 2/5 x to the other side of my equal sign? Well, that's if I multiply by 5, it's not going to move it over to the other side.
Oh, wait. Would you just multiply by 5?
That's not going to move it to the other side. You're a step ahead. Right now, I want to move the x over. Thank you, Katie. You guys weren't wrong. You were just not. And no, you were just doing it a step early. And I'll show you why you were a step early here in just a second. All right, the x must go first. Minus 2/5 x plus y equals what's left over here? 14. Because if I multiply this by 5, is my negative going away? So what do I need to multiply it by? So we're multiplying this entire thing. I don't know. Let me rephrase that. For most people, it's easier than yesterday. Those were given to us. So I need to have if you look back on the previous page, I need the x and the y on the same side of the equal sign, right? So how do I move this 2/5 x over to the other side of the equal sign? It's a positive 2/5 x, so to move it to the other side, what's the opposite of adding? What's the opposite of adding? Minusing. So I minused it from both sides, so now I have minus 2/5 x plus y equals 14. I'll explain that right now. Are you good to that part right there? You wrote it weird. How else should I have written minus 2/5 x? I wrote it right underneath it. Yeah, I don't know either. So when you figure it out, be sure to let me know. Yes. Yes. But why did I multiply it by a negative? To get rid of it. Thank you. So we need a positive whole number x. So what can I multiply 2/5 by to get a whole number? I multiply it by the denominator. What's the denominator? So I'm going to go over here. So negative 5 times negative 2/5. Negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. 1 times 5 is 5. And what is 10 divided by 5? 2. So my fraction went away. I multiplied it by the denominator, God bless you, to make the denominator go away. So now I have 2x.
Wait, okay. Negative 5 over 1 Are you just like explaining it?
I'm sorry, what?
Like where you wrote the fraction?
Yeah, I was just showing you. Yes. Because I personally hate it when a teacher goes, just do this because I said it. And I'm trying to explain why. I did it to get rid of the fraction. It's now a whole number. All right, we're almost done. Negative 5 times y is what? And negative 5 times 14? Is that in standard form? Yes, you're done. All right, one example left. Example 3. Write in all 3 forms. What? I know that in all is kind of together. Write in all 3 forms a line that passes through 6, negative 7 and has a slope of negative 2.
Okay, so can we do slope first?
I personally would do point slope first because that's the easiest, and Audrey said so. And I agree with Audrey most of the time. All right, so, Kyla, what's my point slope formula?
Y minus y1 equals n.
All right, I don't want to go too fast. Does everyone have that written? All right, let me rephrase that. Does anyone need more time to write that? Jojo, are you lying to me? Do you have that written? All right. So now this right here is my x1, that's my y1, and that's my m. Jojo, you good with that? I'm going to prove to you this is easier than yesterday. What am I replacing that? It's the way you saw it that confused you.
No, it's just the way, like, I saw it, yes. The way I saw it, negative 2.5x something.
I was doing negative 2.5x. Okay. Okay.
You had a line of it.
It's called a fraction. You need. Well, yeah, because I was subtracting. You're correct. All right, let's just continue on, okay? I promise this is easier than Monday's lesson. All right, so let's plug in. What is x1? 6. So I'm just going to do parentheses x minus 6. What is y1? So y minus is my formula, and then I have to do y1, which is negative 7. Well, I don't, but I would have had 2 negatives next to each other. Knock it off. All right, what's my m? There's only one smart aleck in here, and it's not you. Shh. All right, Because, JoJo, I have two negatives here, okay? I'm just explaining to you. I'm not picking on you. I'm not calling on you. I'm just explaining. You asked why, and I'm explaining. Did I have to? Could I have done this? To me, that looks weird. And you said you don't like stuff that looks weird. So I put it in parentheses. That's all I did. So now 2 negatives equal a... Is that my final answer? Yes. So what should I do with my final answer? Highlight it or circle it. All right, so that is in point slope. What would be the easiest one to do next? Slope intercept is the correct answer. Was that you, Dom, that said that? Oh, it was Justin. I knew it. I had the right direction.
Yes, I think so.
All right, so next, what I have to do is turn this. I'm going to just rewrite it. All right, remember, slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. So what should I do with this -2 in the parentheses? Distribute it is the correct answer. Is that in slope-intercept form? Is the y by itself? So how do I get rid of a +7? So subtract 7 from both sides. John Knott, is this now in slope-intercept form? Yes. Highlight it or circle it, please. Or highlight it and circle it if you're a superstar. All right, so it said write it in all 3 forms. What's my last form? Standard form. So I'm going to take this and just rewrite it. Y equals -2x plus 5. Thank God it's not a fraction. That would have added like 10 minutes to the problem. All right. Anna, how do I get rid of a -2x? Are you sure? Okay. All right, JoJo. Look, I'm adding it to both sides, so I'm going to draw a line under it. That's where the line came from. I'm explaining to you. I'm not making fun of you or anything. I'm just purely showing you. So now, which letter has to go first, the x or the y? So 2x plus y equals 5. Is that in standard form? Circle it or highlight it or both? To me, that's the easiest way of doing it.
It looks like it. And then you just take the problem that they do the other stuff.